Hey there, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. It really means a lot that you're here with me today. Welcome to Of Tales Beyond Elsewhere. I want to share 3 encounters that have made me question what I thought I knew about reality. First, I'll tell you about something that happened to me personally 22 years ago on a highway between Russia and Germany, involving strange horse-headed figures. While researching my own encounter, I came across 2 other fascinating cases. I'm sharing these as pieces of a larger puzzle that fascinates me. My own experience led me down this rabbit hole, and maybe it'll spark your curiosity too. If you're open to exploring some stranger corners of our world, let's dive in together. Look, I need to tell you something that happened to me about 22 years ago. And honestly, I've been debating whether to share this story at all. I told it once to a group of friends, but they ridiculed me and I felt ashamed. But after seeing a lot of different crazy and creepy stuff on this platform, I haven't seen anyone talking about this. And I need to know if there are others who witnessed something similar. Let's start with my personal tale, which I just coined as I saw this. I was on this coach from Rostov, Russia to Berlin, and we'd been driving for 2 days straight. It was our second night, somewhere between 1 and 3 in the morning, and everyone around me was dead asleep. You know how it is on those long overnight buses? People sprawled out, snoring, the whole 9 yards. So we pull into this gas station in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking complete darkness, except for a few dim lights around the fuel pumps. Our driver gets out to grab something from the station, and I'm just sitting there, half awake, looking out the window. That's when I see this other coach parked maybe 20 meters away from us. At first, I thought it was just another passenger bus, but something felt off about it. The windows were tinted darker than usual, and there was this weird modification behind the driver's seat where hay was stacked up. Then I noticed the compartments. Picture this. There were these little sections built into the bus, exactly like horse stables. 4 or 5 of them, each one with a bed inside. And on each bed was something that still makes my skin crawl when I think about it. These were creatures with human bodies, but horse heads. Actual living, breathing beings with horse heads and human torsos, just lying there like they were sleeping. I watched one of them wake up when our bus engine shut off. It lifted its head, looked around like any person would if they got disturbed in their sleep, then just laid back down. The others were moving their ears while they slept. You know how horses do that twitchy thing with their ears when they're resting? These things were doing exactly that. They were alive, they were real, and they were being transported somewhere in their own custom-built bus. I tried to recreate what I saw with an AI image. It's not perfect, but it will give you a taste of what I saw. And believe me when I tell you, I searched for these kinds of buses and horse transport buses, but none looked like this one. Also, I want to repeat, these were horse-headed people. The whole thing lasted maybe 3 or 4 minutes before our driver came back and we continued on our way. But those few minutes changed everything for me. I spent years trying to convince myself I'd imagined it, that I was just exhausted and seeing things, and it happened way before horse-headed masks and BoJack Horseman were a thing. And I like to repeat, they moved naturally. I don't want to speculate where they came from or why they were there, but I know what I saw, and that is one of the things I will never forget in my life. So please, if you saw these things, let me know in the comments or drop me a mail at the address you'll find in the description. Nonetheless, the more I dug into stories from around the world, the more I realized what I saw wasn't some one-off hallucination. Beings like these seem to exist in all parts of the world, and through centuries, humans have encountered and interacted with them. Through my research, I stumbled upon a few of these creatures and tales about them, which I want to showcase to you. Let me introduce you to the tikbalang from the Philippines. This isn't some made-up monster from Hollywood. This is a creature that's been documented in Filipino folklore for generations, way before the Spanish ever set foot in the Philippines. We're talking about stories that go back to ancient Hindu-Buddhist traditions, where one of Vishnu's avatars had a horse head on a human body. When different cultures mixed in the Philippines, these stories evolved into something that locals still talk about today. Here's what makes the tikbalang so interesting. It's not just some random forest monster. People describe it as incredibly tall, like 5 times the height of a coconut tree, with this horse head, human body, and horse hooves. But here's the kicker. It's smart. Really smart. The most common tick-belong encounter goes like this. You're walking through an area you know like the back of your hand, maybe a path you've taken hundreds of times, and suddenly you're completely lost. You walk in circles for hours, getting more and more confused, until you somehow end up exactly where you started. This isn't just one or two people making stuff up. Generations of Filipino families have passed down these exact same stories. Kids grow up hearing about relatives who got lost in familiar places, who walked the same path over and over again, who felt like something was deliberately messing with them. And the thing is, these stories are still happening today. People in rural Philippines still report getting lost in areas they know perfectly well, still talk about feeling like something intelligent is playing games with them. The physical descriptions are what really get to me, though. People describe seeing these creatures with glowing ember eyes, razor-sharp claws, and this uncanny ability to just vanish when you're not looking directly at them. They move like they understand human behavior, like they've been watching us long enough to know exactly how to mess with our heads. And the ear movement I saw on that bus, that's described in tick-belong encounters too. People talk about seeing these creatures flick their ears while they're resting, exactly like horses do. But the Philippines isn't the only place where these things show up. Deep in the Indonesian forests, there's something called the ahul. Now, this one's different from what I saw, but it's got that same horse face, human body combination that makes you wonder if we're dealing with the same species in different regions. The ahul is described as having these massive wings, like a bat, but way bigger, spanning over 10 feet. People who've encountered it say it has a primate body, but an elongated horse face, and it can fly. What's crazy is how few people know about the ahul. It's not like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, where everyone's heard the stories. This is something that's only been reported in really remote parts of Indonesia, places where outsiders rarely go. The witnesses describe a creature that watches humans from the forest canopy, sometimes swooping down to get a closer look, before disappearing back into the jungle. And just like the tick-belong, it seems intelligent, like it's studying human behavior rather than just randomly encountering people. The Indonesian connection gets even weirder when you realize there are similar creatures reported throughout Southeast Asia. The orang body, also from Indonesia, and the ebu gogo, from Flores Island, both share characteristics with the ahul. It's like there's this whole family of horse-faced beings spread across the region. Each one slightly different, but all sharing that same basic template of human intelligence, combined with horse features. But how likely is it that some of these group together and charter a bus somewhere between Russia and Germany? Please let me know what you think about this video. It's my first one, and I'm appreciative of all comments. And if you've encountered horse-headed people, please let me know in the comments, or write me an email. If you have a tale you'd like me to share, please drop me a message. I'll be releasing more videos in the coming weeks with strange tales I've found. And hopefully, we'll figure out the mystery of the horse-headed people together.